All right, so I'm now on page 15 of the packet, which is labeled Searching for Evidence. And it says at the top here, every reason you offer to support the central claim of your argument must be upheld by evidence. It is useful to think ahead about evidence when you are preparing to write an argument. If there is no evidence to support your claim, you will need to revise your claim. The evidence you provide must be relevant or related to your claim. It must also be sufficient. Sufficient evidence is both clear and varied. Use this chart to help you vary the types of evidence you provide to support your reasons. So if I were you, I would start thinking about this question: is it best to reach a consensus, or are there times where it's better to disagree? And you want to be thinking about what evidence you are going to use for the next step, which is actually drafting this. As it says here, you need to start with the evidence. Because if there is no evidence to support your reason, to support your claim, then it's not a very strong claim. All right, so types of evidence you could use. Anecdotes, personal examples or stories that illustrate a point. What does that look like? Letters to the editor. So for example, no longer will the policies they adopt be the subject of bitter disagreements and lackluster support. So anecdotes are usually going to be found in quoted words. And anecdotes are when people talk about their personal feelings or stories to help support this. Commonly accepted beliefs, which are ideas that most people share. So in the newspaper article, consensus is too much compromise, said parent Tyrell Washington. Okay, so again, you can find a lot of commonly accepted beliefs in quoted words. Examples, specific instances or illustrations of a general idea. Newspaper article, normally the 12-person board votes on their proposals. Now they will use consensus to build a plan of action acceptable to all. All right, so you can find these in numbers and statistics a lot. Not always necessarily numbers and statistics, but that's a good place to start. Expert opinions, statement made by an authority on the subject. Newspaper article, we will be working together to shape a proposal that everyone can get behind, said school board president Patty Rincon. So again, quoted words are a good place to look for this, but you also need to be considering the source here. So it says expert opinion. So a parent might have a good point, but they're not an expert. Somebody on the school board, they know how the school board works. They are responsible for this. So they're going to have good information about it. Facts. Facts are statements that can be proven true, such as statistics or other numerical information. So again, numbers and statistics is a good place to start here, looking for facts. And in the informational article, it says a consensus is when a group of people reaches a general agreement. So even though this is not a number and statistic here, it's like a definition. It's a fact. All right, that is what a consensus is. And that's a good thing to use in your essay, because you want to make it clear to your audience what your main points are, and you need to define some of those main points. Okay.